Alright, hello. Like I mentioned, we're going to roll right into our next run. Let me make sure everyone's in the channel.
Yo, we're in.
Yes, you are live now. So like I said, everyone, we're going to roll right into our next run here to keep going. Let me transition this over so y'all can see. We had to go through very frustrating, dumb issues to get that flame transition video working yesterday, so I hope y'all like it.
Hey.
Can't get enough flame here. I mean, we're Spyro. I mean, we love flames. So.
Yeah, bro. Or in this case, we love lightning. Because we never use flame in this one.
Alright, so what we have here for this next run, we have, as I mentioned, JoeM8 will be running Spyro into the Dragonfly, and it'll be commentated by FirstMaple. So, I guess I'll just hand it over to FirstMaple. You can do whatever you need to do to get started here. And you can just count me down whenever you're good.
Alright, sounds good. Well, yeah, this is Spyro into the Dragonfly. Definitely the black sheep of the Spyro franchise, but it has a very cool speedrun. And Joe's gonna get started right here. So this is the any percent no really Ripto with Dupes category, and the cool distinction with Dupes is it means we don't have to do any minigames, and you'll see how that's done soon, but that saves a lot of time over the no Dupes category. But it also introduces a very annoying part in the beginning, but once you get past that, it's a very cool run with a lot of very cool, very fun tricks in it. And it's had a lot of progression over the past maybe half a year. And you saw him do like 2 charges there that may look like a mistake, but it's actually faster to do that because it sets you up quicker for the text box. And he does like a charge thing into the dragon statue, saves a little bit of time from doing the normal walk up to it. It's a lot more precise than it looks. It's actually kind of difficult to do, but he'll be doing that with a lot of like text boxes in this game. And I guess I should also mention that before the run, you always turn off hints and you turn off voices. It's a lot faster to do that. No Literally Ripto in this game entails that you get 70% to unlock the boss portal instead of just clipping into it, which is what any percent is. And there's actually a chance that you could skip this Dragonfly animation, but it doesn't happen too often. It saves about 6 seconds though. Oh man, he missed the Sparks text skip. That's unfortunate, but he'll just go right back for it. No big deal. Yeah, see, he got that. And he tries to go for a downward flame though, because the thing about this game is there's no flame charging, but if you charge while you're flaming, the flame hitbox goes down. And that can be used for a lot of cool things too. So it's kind of a good trade-off for not having flame charging. And I guess I should also mention that he's actually playing on widescreen. There's no advantage to this, but it's interesting because he's really the only player in this game that plays on widescreen. Because for some reason it is an option in this game, which really isn't common in many early GameCube games.
Hey, it's G!
Yo, what's up, Epic News? Yeah, Hunter jumping over the thing, yeah, for sure. Okay, so he's going to be going into Dragonfly Dojo, but he's not going to be starting this level just yet, actually, because this is where the dupe cycle starts, and the dupe cycle takes about 3 minutes, a bit less than 3 minutes, but you get 6 Dragonflies while doing it, and the way you do a dupe in this game, well, there's a lot of different ways, but this way, you literally bubble a Dragonfly while going into the Atlas, and you can just infinitely duplicate it. It's really cool. It opens a lot of possibilities for the game. Yeah, see, you can see the Dragonfly's name on the loading screen. It skips animation too, and you'll be seeing more Dragonfly animation skips later because it's fast, and we like going fast. So right now his gem count should be, so he's like 2 over gemmed right now, so that's always good to see. Yeah, you can literally get as many dragonflies as you want by doing that. You can get as much as you want. But they are quicker dragonflies to get than just duping, thankfully. After this dupe cycle, you'll see if you watch the first Dupes NER run in Spyro we did, it'll be a lot different this level through because we found that it's a lot quicker to do levels backwards in this game, and you'll see how that's possible soon. Because gems are faster. Gems also add up to percentage, so I guess I should explain that getting all the gems in this game will give you 50% completion, and getting all the dragonflies will get you 50% completion. And each level has a set amount of completion. So even if a level has like, say 600 gems or 900 gems, the gems in that level will add up to 5% of the game's total completion. So routing really goes along that a lot of times. So you try to get a lot of high value gems in a lot of high value levels, and less gems in lower value levels. Yeah, and some dragonflies you have to go into mini games, go into loading screens and stuff. I haven't actually been paying attention to what dupe he's on. He might be finishing up the dupe cycle after this one. I'm not sure though. Okay, I think this is the second to last one. Sorry if that was loud. It is a little complex, but once you get your head around it, it's not that bad. But yeah, I'm very excited to show for Joe to show this run off today because we've worked a lot to make a lot of optimizations in this category, and it's just changed so much. Alright, yeah, that was the end of the dupe cycle, and oh no, it wasn't. I looked at the dragonfly count and didn't account for the ones he got in the home world, but that was definitely the final cycle. He's gonna just go into the level and go back in. JoeM8, the goat. Actually, no, the second best player because I'm the goat. But yeah, the record whenever I did my Spyro run was a 109, and now it's a 58. Getting sub hour was really hype in this game, but it's gone quite a bit lower than sub hour. Okay, now the boring part of the run is done with because the dupe cycle is over. The dupe cycle is definitely the most like bland and drab part of the run, but once you get past it, it's really cool. Honestly, the dupe cycle is one of the main reasons why I opt to do no dupes instead of dupes, especially for 100%. Because in 100%, that dupe cycle I think lasts 26 dragonflies. It's literally like over 20 minutes of that. So miss me with that. And you see that he's not getting the dragon statue. We found out that freeing all those dragons, the text takes a really long time. And why do that? Oh, okay. Why do that when you could just click through the door and do the level backwards? And get the dragonflies a lot quicker. Yeah, they work so nicely. Ooh, he got it. That's a pretty tough glide, but it gets you 10 extra gems in a decently high gem value level. Nice. That
Hey, it's
cloudy setup is
Cloudy.
quite a bit tougher than it looks. You have to like get a specific angle around. I'm getting a bonkless on these. Nice. That guy's animation can just sometimes not load. You actually don't want it to load because sometimes he'll attack you if it does load. Yeah, lag clips are easier on the PS2 version, but the PS2 version is very slow in every other way.
Hey, it's Cinder.
It's also way better to do it with Flame Breath because Flame creates the most lag particles. But in all versions, they are pretty easy, depending on what you're trying to lag clip through. And for this Dragonfly, you can't hover, so you have to get a pretty nice glide onto him. But he knows what he's doing, so he's got it. No, it's Cinder with an I. Different Cinder, bro. Okay, and he's actually coming up to the end of the level. Interestingly enough, the levels go a lot quicker now. Oh yeah, that leg clip, I honestly don't really understand how it works all that well, but he can do something at a specific part of that door so where he doesn't even have to flame to get through it. It's really interesting. I don't know how to do that. Alright, and he's gonna be going for a hard trick. He's gonna be doing something we call the pause glitch here. You do the pause glitch by pressing A and B over a certain menu option on the same frame as each other. He didn't get it, but it's okay. It's really hard. Only saves about 6 seconds, so we're good. So yeah, normally he would be able to like catch the Dragonfly while being in that menu and just like leave immediately, not have to sit through his animation. But it's not a big deal if he missed it. Okay, and now he's going to Cropsicle Country. Cropsicle Country is also done very differently than it is in the previous route. And he's about 15 gems over gemmed, which is really nice to see. Being over gemmed in this game can actually cut out a Dragonfly at the very end if you're over gemmed enough. We still haven't really determined if it's faster to get the extra gems or do the extra Dragonfly. Seems pretty negligible. Yeah, it's not super difficult because all you have to do is press 2 buttons at the same time as each other, but it's difficult in the sense that you have to do it while lining up to catch a Dragonfly.
Hey, it's
And
Kanichi.
you only have like half a second to leave the level, or else it'll just sit through his animation anyways. So it's kind of precise, but you get it down pretty quickly, honestly. And always getting that gem on the way through. Joe, I'm not the one running, I'm just commentating, but Joe has been running this game since early 2020, so about 2.5 years. I've been running this game since late 2020, so about 1.5 years. Alright, so we'll be going through this door with another lag clip and beginning a Dragonfly, but then he would be going through the level backwards, which is cool because in the previous route we would just go through the level forwards. And this level has interesting routing because you actually go back to it later. Because there's one Dragonfly that's just really out of the way normally, and it's a lot quicker if you just go to it, get it on the loading screen into it while going into another level. You don't like the sound of charging vases?
Hey, it's
I don't mind it. I haven't really noticed anything about it, I guess. Unfortunate, he took a Sparks damage. The thing about Sparks in this game is, that's really unique about this game is, if you take Sparks damage, his range decreases very significantly. So like, Blue Sparks has significantly less range than Yellow Sparks, and Green Sparks has basically no range. So if you're low on sparks, you really want to get that back as soon as possible. At least if you're running 100%. If you're running 100%, it's pretty devastating. So you want to get rid of, or you want to regain sparks as quickly as possible in that case. You have to go around to get that gem. Yep, and sometimes the area won't load, but as soon as you encounter a Zoe, it will load the area and miss the jump, unfortunately. But it's kind of a tough jump. You need to really conserve a lot of your momentum, so it's very understandable how he missed it. Not a big deal. If you're starting to learn to run ETD, I would recommend starting with any percent no early Ripto with a dupe, but you can realistically do anything you want. I started on 100%. Yeah, there's a what is it? A text document on the guides page that has like prerequisites for runners. Oh yeah, getting that quick catch while charging is a cool little time save in this level. But if you grab onto the ladder while you're catching the Dragonfly, it'll actually stopwatch the game, so it's a bit risky. But, you know, Joe goes for it anyways, because he's just that good. You have to do a certain type of jump there, because there's a lot of lag here specifically, and that can drop your input really, really bad. And you'd have to go all the way around to get back up there, because there's a lot of gems you want. No, any percent in this game doesn't exist. Any percent's not a thing. Don't pretend it is. Okay, for this cow specifically, he has to zap it a third time, and then he has to look around to make sure it goes into the farmer. If he doesn't look at him while he's going into the farmer, he just won't, and it's like really annoying. Nice Mitnick catch. That Dragonfly can be a pain. Yeah, interesting thing about Enter the Dragonfly on GameCube and Wii is some of the load screens are actually quicker than SRT loading. So it's really not as bad as a lot of people say. Because people played the PS2 version of this game, and that version is terrible. Like, oh my god, you never want to play the PS2 version. And Joe's going for a trick that, in my opinion, is really hard. And it's crazy that he's going for this on Spyrothon. And he gets it. That Dragonfly is usually really hard to catch. And the fact that he can do it while pause glitching is awesome. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's a yikes burger. Okay, yeah, now he's going into Lua Island, and there's a lot of cool tech in this level. He's skipping the sparks by doing a certain type of jump. You can do that, it's really cool. Yeah, for 100% running on PS2 saves, running on PS2 loses like 45 minutes to maybe an hour. It'd lose like an hour plus if you're running on PAL PS2, but it'd be like 45 minutes on NTSC PS2. It's really bad.
Hey, it's Amy!
Oh no, more. You can expect up to a minute 10 loads in PS2. Loads take about 25 seconds, 20 to 25 seconds in this game. Yeah, the developers were really under a lot of stress for this game's development. There's a really cool documentary about it, which is honestly the reason why I started speedrunning this game. Getting the nice run up. Oh, and the walk underwater. For some reason, if you jump into that pier, You can just walk underwater, and it's really fast. It's really cool. It's actually really easy too. Moving time into cutscenes? No, you can skip every cutscene in this game. Getting a nice swim to speed it up, and entering really, really smooth. So there's a swim in air in this level that really doesn't make sense why it works, but it works. So we're gonna do it. It also opens up a lot of gems that normally wouldn't be fast to get. So this route was like, whenever me and Joe constructed this route for this level, we were just like, it's just so nice. It works so well. Nice scary catch, getting the quick, the like charge thing to catch him. Takes a little bit of time. Alright, so I guess there might be a weird collision thing with this shell, but if you angle yourself just right over here, do a head bash, you'll swim in air when there's not even water. It's crazy, but it works. And he's going to be maneuvering around this to load a certain area. Is he going to get it? He got it, nice. You have to really hug that wall to load this area properly. And there's a lot of gems here, so you don't want to skip out on it. Getting some more gems over here, and normally you see that dragonfly up there, you're supposed to do a challenge to raise some platforms, but we're speedrunners, we don't do that. This dragonfly has really weird properties whenever he's in the gate. Doing a nice head bash clip here, some ceilings can be clipped through with a head bash, really useful. You can actually break that with bubble, interestingly enough. There's some things you can break with bubble, most things you can't. And, oh, unfortunate. He didn't get a good jump. Go again. Make sure not to go through the portal. Okay. Is he gonna get it? Nice. Yeah.
Hey, it's Homer.
A lot of runs guide to that trick. It can be pretty tough sometimes. Nice gems underwater. Unfortunately, swimming in ETD sucks. Yeah, I do have a Twitch. This is my Twitch. Oh yeah, bonk summoner. So, the way that works is, whenever Spyro bonks, the game checks for what is under him. So, like, it can be floor, it can be lava, it can be water, it could be anything. And whenever the bonk animation ends, it will just assume he's, like, in that surface that's under him. So that's why bonk luminaries work. Really nice that they do work because they're quite easy. And if we didn't have those, there would be a lot harder versions of those. The gem route for that top area is a little weird. You kind of just want to get everything on it, but yep. Yeah, summoners behave very uniquely in this game. Yep. You bonk above water, you have enough room between you and the water, and you hold down charge, you summoner. Because, as I said, the Spyro will, at the end of this bonk animation, it will default to what's under you. Yeah. He's exactly right. And we're at the ending part of this level right now, but we actually have 3 more dragonflies to get here. The last 3 Dragonflies in this level are incredibly quick. Nice. So there's a chance of skipping that guy's animation if you do something. I don't even know what causes it, but there's something that causes it. Maybe lag or something. That Dragonfly he just got Scuttlebutt can be a total pain. If you miss him, it's game over, bro. And he's gonna go for a pod glitch exit on this guy, which is a little difficult. Not as difficult as the last one he did though, so let's hope he can get it. Nice.
Hey,
Oh
it's
yeah,
Play-Doh.
and going into the Atlas, you have to be very quick or else it'll just play the Dragonfly animation. Alright, so you want to end on 71 Dragonflies and 4,370 gems to get 70%. There's a total of 90 Dragonflies in this game. Yeah, 71 and 4,380. Nice traveling catch. That's really good. And you see how that Dragonfly has no name. It's because we duplicated it earlier on in the run. Yes, the red spring chest. Represent. So this level has the most amount of dupes that you can do without like leaving the level and coming back in. Thank you, Zalaria. Right, this is the last dragon rune he's going to be getting, the ice rune, which is really only used for like one thing at the end. But yeah, we're going to see another example of Spyro taking the properties of the floor under him for a walk in air. And he has to do it at the very specific part of this platform, at the ending lip of it, or else it won't work, and he got it. Nice. Saves quite a bit of time from gliding over here. Getting these bases is really tricky because the collision of these walls extends so much and it's so easy to just bonk on them. And 100% you would do a swim in air there, but here we do a head dash clip, which you can drop a lot of frames there if you're not careful, and you can drop an input, and it can be really annoying, but as long as you set it up correctly, you should be fine. Nice head dash clip on the rainbow, and getting one of these lantern, or light things, I don't know what they are. This part of the level has like very weird routing because there's just a bunch of stuff everywhere. This part hurts my brain so much to learn whenever I'm learning a route for this game because there's just so much stuff everywhere. This Dragonfly Savino can ruin your day, but if you know its setup, you should be fine.
Hey,
Kind of a
it's
beginner's
Savino.
trap. Yeah, this game's very nostalgic. For me at least. Maybe that's why I can tolerate it. So, there's a spot that you can dupe coming up very quickly, or not very quickly, but like in like a few minutes, but we don't do it because on GameCube it's very inconsistent. On PS2 it works like every time, but on GameCube it's like 1 in 100. So like, if you're on a really dead run, you could use it to maybe bring it back, but on a normal run, you wouldn't be going for this because it almost never works. And you have to make sure to kill that cloud because his lightning can literally expand to like across the map, and he can just kill you. Very nice cycle. Still got. Yeah. After this little area, we're gonna come up to it. It's in the part where you shoot the lightning clouds over the pond. But after that, there's gonna be a dupe you actually always do in this run, and wish him luck because it's actually kind of difficult. A little trouble on Ice Boy, but we made it. And the interesting thing about the the dupe you actually do in this run is, you get 3 out of it. At first you would just get 2, but you can actually get 3 dragonflies for the price of 1. Favorite dragonfly? Maybe Krishnamurti, Tashi Station, Copper Top, Scuttlebutt. There's a lot of good ones. He chooses to not aim there in first person, which is really interesting. He says it's easier for him, but I don't know.
Hey, it's Takahiro!
Unfortunately, not getting the animation to get on that Dragonfly, but it's all good. Bro, if there was a lava girl in here, that'd be so sick. That jump there is probably the hardest jump, casually, that you're required to do. And that's the last thing you have to light, and the dupe is coming up real quick. Wish him luck. He has to basically exit the text box as soon as he's getting the dragonfly, and on the third one he has to stay in the same position but also exit it. So,
Hey, it's Rick.
see how the camera's moving? He moved out of the text box and he's getting the prompt again. And if you do this, wait for the dragonfly animation to finish, and go again. You can run through the animation and get another dragonfly. Really awesome. And you do this another time in Honeymarsh. And honestly, after this level is where things start to get crazy. Where you start to see death warps and dragonflies loading into other levels and stuff. The early game in this run is very much more tame than the late game. And finishing up the level here, he's going to go for a pause glitch on this guy. There he goes. The animation takes some time. And let's see his gem count over here. Okay, wow, he's like 80 gems ahead. That's really great. He could skip a dragonfly at the end. Oh yeah, cool thing about this gate coming up is you can just jump through it without using the breath, and you don't even have to leg clip through it, but that collision isn't present until you have a certain percentage of the game, which is really interesting. Like, if you try to do that on a clean file, it won't work. You have to have like a certain amount of percent or dragonflies. Going for hoverless over here. Nice. Doing that charge jump thing is the best way to get momentum in this game. It makes a lot of things that wouldn't be possible, normally possible. Oh yeah, I also never explained jump hovering or double jumping. If you jump again, and press Y, you'll do like a glide hover in the air, and you can get a lot of extra height in there by doing that. Alright, Monkey Monastery, home of definitely the hardest trick in this run, that if he gets, will be really awesome. It's called the Pterodactyl Dupe. He has to pause glitch, go on the turret, shoot the pterodactyl guy, which is honestly pretty precise, jump off of it, wait a second, and then leave the level, and he'll duplicate it. And he'll get the Dragonfly as soon as he loads into the other level. Unfortunate, not quick for me. Very hard Dragonfly there. He has a very precise setup. And he can really lose you a lot of time because he moves so fast. Yeah, he can ruin your day.
Hey, it's foamy.
And we'll be clearing out basically the left section of this level and leaving the right section for later. Have a lot of really nice gems, doing a log clip here. Getting this deceivingly hard Dragonfly, but he nailed it.
Hey, it's Damsel.
With knife. And normally in the no dupe route you would go up to the slide minigame here, but since we're duping, we ain't going into any minigames. Getting some really nice gems up here. So in comparison to the trilogy games, the gems don't look that good. Because for the most part, in these levels there are only really 1s and 2s and maybe some 5s. Very rare 10s and 25s. Especially in a level called Thieves' Den, where literally every gem is a 1 and a 2 besides 2 10s. There's not even any 5s. And there's 700 gems in that level. Normally you would go up to get a Yeti here, but since it's faster to not do that in this route, you just go straight over to the turret. You can hit one of those guys early, but he wasn't on a good cycle. Isn't a big deal. It's that Yeti over there. Get some gems over here. And pretty much the big tricks in this level are saved for the end. For the most part, the beginning of it is just a bunch of movement and Dragonfly setup. Waiting until later to get that turret for the pterodactyl dupe, getting the key, and then gliding all the way over here, which very conveniently you can do. And, oh yeah, I forgot about the death warp in this level. I don't know if we have to skip any Zoes to execute this death warp. I know you have to in the 100% route. I run 100% in this game. He's actually gonna be switching to 100% after this run, which will be really hyped to have some competition there. %, in this game is brutal though, because the levels have at least 600 gems, at most 900. If you miss a gem, your day's ruined, because the levels are so huge. But it's a really nice category for consistency and total mastery of the game. I really love it. Okay, and normally you get a Dragonfly from Bartholomew over there, but that's kind of slow, so we don't do that. Oh, really? You'll try to learn 100% in this game. Good luck, man. That's what I started on. I'd be totally willing to help you there. As much as I can. Yeah, I'm always very happy to see new runners of this game. I'm always very willing to help, because I'm very passionate about this game. The community of this game is very passionate. It's grown a lot over the years. Last year it really only had like 3 runners. Now it has like 6 actively. So, yeah, I can agree with that. Okay, cool death warp over here to do the pterodactyl dupe. Let's hope he can do it. Very, very hard trick. He got a nice position for that guy. Awesome. I think he got it.
Hey,
Yes.
it's Gaku.
That is awesome to see in a marathon. Going to Cropsicle Country to get that last Dragonfly that we're saving for later, and then we'll exit the level, go into Honey Marsh because it's right there. The routing lines up very nicely for that. Unfortunately, you have to talk to the farmer at the start because you've already loaded into the level. But yeah, so you get an extra Dragonfly as soon as you load into this level, a Dragonfly that's not even in this level, which is really cool. Oh, does he not have to talk to the farmer? Interesting, I thought he did. Getting gems through the bridge like a boss. He's not going to be going for the pause glitch on those guys because there's 20 extra gems he can get right here. And it's also very difficult. Yeah, Goku's in this game. Get 2 of them too. Alright, Honey Marsh has another very cool dupe in it. Has a bunch of cool dupes actually. Has a Death Warp, very cool movement. And I don't even think he has to use the backup. This run's pretty good so far besides missing some smaller checks. Doing a really good job. Interesting movement up to there, but we make it. And how are his gems looking? Wow, he is 91 gems over gemmed. Enough to replace the Dragonfly. It usually takes about 80 gems to replace the Dragonfly, percentage-wise. Depending on the level you get the gems from. Which makes routing this game a lot more complicated. Like, I have this big sheet that has, like, a bunch of numbers and values of which gems and which levels, like, account for how much percentage of the game, and it's a lot more complicated than just, like, linear gem values, but it makes it really interesting and creative for routing, so I enjoy it. Bro, I know the honey slide music is the best, but unfortunately we're not going to see that today. We'll see that in Spyro 8 whenever I do 100% no dupes, though. They planned to have skill points in this game, but unfortunately they don't. Unfortunate damage over there. Nice, back up. So he's gonna have to make sure to get zapped by this Zoe here, and he's gonna have to skip a Zoe zap later, because he'll have to warp back here.
Hey, it's Suzuki.
And the way you skip Zoe in this game is you load into her area and then immediately walk out, and she'll get confused, and until you go outside of her range again, she won't detect you. Oh, unfortunate. I'll just have to run back up there. Not a big deal.
Hey, it's Russell Tim.
And he's getting the key over here, which is a really nice Dragonfly to get because usually you skip his animations. It seems random if it works though, but it basically always works. Making sure you get zapped. You got it. And it's very important that he gets all these honey skills, which he has all of them so far, because Usually you'd get one Dragonfly out of it, but he's gonna get 3 because Dupes. Yay. Really cool flower movement over there to get some extra gems.
Hey, it's Swan!
That's a pretty good Dragonfly name too. Zwan. You have to skip this Zoe. If he gets zapped, it's pretty bad. But he's not gonna get zapped because he's a pro. Really, really nice jump over here. Unfortunate damage, but oh yeah, I should mention, it's more of a problem in 100%, but this level has no way to regain sparks outside of the first area. Or no, the second area in the level. So if you get damaged, you're gonna have like bad spark range for the whole level, unless you die. Here's the dupe.
Hey,
You got the first one. Did you get the second one? Okay. Second one. And he has to... Okay. Very nice. Very, very, very nice. He even got on the platform after. And usually, at first we wouldn't go here, but I realized there's a lot of gems over here. And Honey Marsh is quite a high value level for gems, so these are really nice to have. That literally equates to like 75% of a Dragonfly right there. And we just weren't doing it for the longest time. Shouldn't miscatch there, but that guy had some weird collisions, so
Hey, it's Gory!
it makes sense. And we're gonna be ending the level right here, and then going into Thieves' Den, which Thieves' Den has an interesting way to go about the level backwards, because it's not done by a lag clip, it's done by a interesting jump that I don't think you're supposed to be able to make, and a head bash clip. Wow, he didn't get to skip on this. That's really interesting. Usually this guy skips, but not a big deal. Oh, right, yeah. The dupe. This dupe is very unique. You don't see a dupe like this any other part of the run. It's kind of similar to the pterodactyl dupe, but you do it a bit differently. Pause glitch, exit the level, and then kill this guy. And you'll get 2 dragonflies for the price of 1. As you'll see, it'll load back in once he goes into the homeworld. He got the 50% cutscene there, so it'll just warp him back to the start of Dragon Realms, so he won't have to Atlas out, which is really nice. It's pretty convenient for the routing of this game, thankfully. Yep, you'll see he gets a Honey Marsh Dragonfly in the homeworld, and he skips it. Really awesome game. He turns in the Ice Rune right now because he had no use for it earlier. Why do you have to resist the urge? I think that's a pretty good idea. And again, with the wonky collision on the gate, that only happens with a certain percentage. Really lucky that it works out here. I mean, you could just lag clip through it or use the breath, but what's the fun in that? Might as well just go through it. And this level is definitely the shortest in this run, which is interesting because it's the longest in 100%. But you only get like 100 gems in this level. Joe is literally thinking about cutting this level from the route entirely. We'll have to play around with that more. I don't know if that'll be in the route, but maybe one day. Which would be unfortunate, because I love the theme of this level. This level is so cool. Okay, how are his gems looking? 100 over. Really awesome. Okay, this is a pretty hard jump. And he gets it. At least this part. Nice. Okay, now he can do the level backward. It's entirely reds and greens besides 2 10 gems. That's it. Which makes it really, it makes it the hardest part of 100%, but it's basically like a run decider for 100%. But it's still one of my favorite levels because it has just such a cool vibe and theme. Nice, Martin. That
Hey, it's Martin.
Dragonfly is deceivingly difficult. And if I'm correct, he'll do a death warp here. I'm not too sure. I haven't run this category in quite a while. I mostly run 100%. So after this Dragonfly, I'm pretty sure he does a death warp.
Hey, it's Atsumi.
Yep. 437? That's really cool. Yeah, the gems in this level are pretty cute. I did see it. You have to jump like that to avoid the Sparks text there. There's even Sparks tutorials in the second to last level. Isn't that awesome? When's somebody going to do the first 737 run? That'd be awesome to see. Bro, in HD 437. I can't wait to see that once the remaster is done. Alright, yeah, he's basically done with this level. He's gonna get this guy and then get another guy. Unfortunately, this guy is a pain. Especially because he's over a bunch of chasms with axes that can, like, fling you off.
Hey, it's Jordan.
You have to have such a precise setup with this guy. But thankfully, he got it decently quickly. He didn't get it instantly, which is always what you want, but he got it quickly enough. And cool little jump you can make there.
Hey, it's
Didn't get the
Charlotte.
pause glitch, but it's okay. He still exited pretty quickly. And we're going into the last level. The run is almost over. You should get into A Hero's Tale. A Hero's Tale is awesome. Big shoutouts to that community. Such an awesome speed game. Underrepresented.
Ouch.
Messed up the life split? I don't understand. There's not a an automatic splitter for this game.
Ouch.
You just press the button manually. But we do want to
Hey, it's Howie.
potentially switch over to loadless sometime because this game has very slightly variable loading screens.
Hey, it's Fluffy.
So I think that would be a good idea at some point. Because they only vary by like a few frames each, but I still think it's best for the fairness of the game. But currently, yeah, we run on RTA. Yeah, much love T-Fable. Alright, the last level. And again, we're doing it backwards. As you'd expect. And this level specifically backwards is really nice because this game, this level has the highest value gems of all of the levels. Yo, raid from Hypnostark, awesome. Okay, he got the portal activation, and honestly, I forget how this route goes for this category. So I'm gonna just wait and see what Joe does and explain it on the fly. But I'm sure it's really awesome. I remember helping make this out a while ago, but it was a while ago.
Hey, it's Bonky.
ETD is the best game. Oh yeah, cool little damage abuse thing, but you have invincibility, so you're not going to get damaged by it. One of the only out of bounds that are actually used in this game. Really awesome. In the old route, this is where you would end the level, but we're just starting.
Hey, it's Mitch.
Ouch.
Ouch.
Trying to think if there's any death warps or Zoe skips in this level, but I'm honestly not too sure. Usually whenever I watch, the runs don't get this far. Because this category is pretty hard. Doing these platform cycles backwards is kind of interesting, but it thankfully works out without being too difficult. Thankfully this level, both in NER and 100% is a lot easier than Season. So it's kind of like a time to catch your breath at the final level. This run might be on sub-hour pace, actually. If you get sub-hour in Marathon, that is super awesome. Let me check the timer, actually. Oh, of course I get an ad. Awesome.
Hey, it's Karen.
Wow, it actually said the right name. So that Dragonfly can be named either Rhett or Karen. I don't know why. Oh, he accidentally pressed that list. That happens sometimes. But yeah, usually for me at least, he's on PAL, so I think it actually is correct, but for me on NTSC, it says Rhett, but it says Karen. Yeah, we end on the camera transition on the final hit of Ripto. But yeah, he's coming up on the last part of the level. This is the last difficult part because he has to get this dragonfly called Doompa, and it's a lot harder to do backwards than it is forwards. So if he gets it first try, that'd be really cool. Plus he has to deal with that dude too. Okay, not first try, that's honestly to be expected because Doompa is very difficult backwards. And unfortunate. Okay, I think he is going to skip the key because he has so many gems. He is very over-gemmed. At least I think he is. So he can just skip that dragonfly at the end, fortunately. And not have to go back up to get that key. But yeah, I think this is where this level ends and the route he's taking, unless he opts to get more gems later in the level, which he might, because this level has some really nice gems. Yeah, he's opting to get more gems. That's good. Or no, is he not? Okay, yeah, he has 70. So the portal opens whenever you hit 70% in this game. So now he has enough percentage to fight Ripto. And the run is almost over. It went by so fast. It felt like just a second ago we were in Luau Island. Imagine not doing the Ripto clip. Wow, so I think this run is going to sub-hour with the missed dupe, because he missed one at the start. That's really cool. Fortunate slow walkout. A sub-hour in this category is a really nice time. World record is a 58:12, if I remember correctly. But yeah, basically you just have to flame his ice wall. I'm sure you guys have seen any percent of this game. You basically just do this. Um, there's actually different boss fights per percentage of the game, which is one of the things that makes 100% so annoying to grind, because the last phase of Ripto is complete RNG. You can literally lose like 10 minutes to him. But thankfully that's not in any percent. And that's time right there. GG's, Joe. Sub-hour in a marathon. With the miss, dude. That's awesome. The credits roll.
Alright, great run, Joe.
Good job,
And
bro.
thank you for the commentary, Maple.
For sure, for sure.
I had no idea to what extent the dupes were at this point, but that was really cool.
Yeah, thanks.
Did you say you mostly focus on 100% Maple?
Yeah, I do currently 100% no dupes. I'm going for a 226 currently.
Cool. Feel free to, if you want to drop your Twitch, feel free to go ahead since you helped out with that. And everyone, you can find Joe. Joe should just be JoeM8. Is it just M8?
JoeM8E.
Oh, right.
I'll link both.
Right. Yeah, also on the schedule on the Spyro website, it links to everyone's Twitch as well. So if y'all want to go on there, you can find people there. But yeah, so I think
good.
we are all set here. I think we're just going to keep running along here so we can continue catching up a little bit. Up next, let me transition here. Up next, we will be having SRT. So our first foray into the modern Spyro games. So it's going to look a lot prettier, a lot more vibrant. Not to say E2D isn't that pretty, but frame rate's bad, but E2D does have some cool stuff in it. But it's nothing compared to the prettiness of SRT. So, so we got that coming next. We'll be having Dr. House, our very own Dr. House, who'll be doing any percent. And it's going to be a very glitchy run, so be ready for that. We will have Roxo commentating, and he should be able to make sense of all of the nonsense that'll be happening during it. So we'll be right back in just a few minutes for that. Thanks again, Maple.